So without any further delays, let's just begin with the session. Over to you, Rachit.
Hello, I'm audible. Hmm, Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, yes. Welcome everyone to our second session of Techathon 3.0 under DevSangam. I am Rachit Prana, the tech team member of GDSC SRCASW. We're excited to have you join us for our informative session on LangChain in action, practical implementation in AI projects. Throughout the session, you are requested to follow some basic rules and guidelines. Please maintain the positive atmosphere and decorum of the event. You can turn on your videos but keep yourself on mute. We'll be having Q&A session at the end, so you can drop all your queries in the chat section. I'm confident that by the end of the session, you'll be well equipped to take on your next hackathon and achieve your goals. Without further ado, let me introduce our esteemed speaker, Mr. Manan Bedi, business analyst at Paytm. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rachit. So, how are you all? Can you just put it in the chat or maybe speak also? By the way, I would also greatly appreciate if some of you could turn on your videos. Maybe not speak. If you're in a setup to turn on your videos, that would be very nice. But if not in a setup to turn on your videos, then it's okay. Wonderful. Okay. So, without any delay, let us start with this session. So, today we will be understanding a topic of LangChain in action. I guess some of you might already be aware of this topic or might also have worked with LangChain in the past. But so today we'll be having the theory as well. Plus we will also build a project also, which would be a YouTube script generator using LangChain only. So we would make it kind of 50-50. So let's start with the PPT first of all, so that we are clear with the theories and all. So that would be best. And also let me know if by any chance my voice just fumbles or anything, or I get on mute. So just let me know the by speaking. Okay, so today we'll be going through and diving deep into a topic of LangChain in action, and we'll also understand how we can implement it in our AI projects. Okay, a bit about myself first of all. So myself, Manan Bedi. I am currently working as a business analyst at Paytm. Plus, I also worked as an ex-SG at a Canada-based startup. Plus, I worked as an ML team lead and ML engineer in a couple of organizations as well. Also, I have experience in writing research articles as well. Three of my research articles are currently published in Springer and ACM Journal. So, yeah, that's very much about me. Okay. So, first of all, language models. So, what are language models? You might language models in simple terms. If I take an example, so ChatGPT would be the best. So you might be also knowing that in the recent times, AI landscape is ever evolving, and these language models have taken the center stage in the tech space right now. Language models are nothing but they are AI systems trained to understand and generate human-like text, and we'll explore how these models are able to generate text as well. We will go through all these details as well. So language models currently play a very crucial role in various NLP tasks. NLP tasks, for example, I can say for few of the examples of NLP tasks are, for example, text summarization, text generation, or MCQ generator, PDF summarization, and all those things. So language models do play a very crucial role in solving all these problems. So also you can create these projects using LLMs only. Few of the examples of language models are GPT-3. GPT-3 is nothing but which powers ChatGPT. If you are using the free version of ChatGPT, you might have noticed it is GPT 3.5, and ChatGPT also provides you an option of using GPT-4, but that is paid. So basic difference, if I tell between GPT 3.5 and GPT-4, is the number of parameters on which your model is trained. Basically, all these models are trained on billions of parameters. So GPT-4 is trained on more number of parameters. That's why it's slightly better than GPT 3.5, plus also gives better results as well. Or some of the other models are BERT and transformers as well. Just for your understanding, transformers is an AI architecture also, which powers all these highly advanced models, including ChatGPT. So if you check out the architecture of ChatGPT from Google. So it's transformers behind all these things. Transformer is basically just an architecture. Just like if you have worked with RNNs, recurrent neural networks, all these things. Transformer is a very advanced architecture which involves multi-head attention and self-attention. But let's not go deep into it. But you can just know transformers is behind all these advanced language models. Okay. This we have already went through. Large language models are advanced AI systems designed to understand and generate human-like text. Few of the examples are text summarization, text generation, language translation is also a very important thing. For example, you just give an input in English and you can get the output in French. So that also can be achieved using LLMs also. We have gone through the examples. Okay. So one of the main thing is how LLMs work. All these LLMs are basically just pre-trained on very huge amounts of data. They are trained on vast amount of data, so they are able to understand the human patterns in the text also. So whenever you give an input, so according to the pre-trained data set, that is able to understand your text and even generate it. Also, you can fine-tune your LLMs. Fine-tune is nothing but changing the number of epochs, number of parameters, and according to your dataset, that is how LLMs work. Architecture, as we already discussed, they typically consist of transformer-based architectures. So those are very vast. Also, these LLMs are able to understand complex semantic nuances as well. Uh, if somebody Arohi, do you want to ask something? Okay, do let me know if anyone has any questions. Right? Okay, so this is pretty much about how LLMs work. So just a summary of how LLMs work. They are trained on vast amount of data and they are able to generate human-like responses based on the data. Applications, these are few of the applications of LLMs. Number one is text generation. Number two, language translation. One can be sentiment analysis and also text summarization. Text summarization, not just it does not summarize the text, but LLMs are also able to summarize your. Was somebody saying something? I
Yeah,
got
like
that.
could you please reshare your screen? I guess we are having some issues. Like it would be great if you reshare your presentation.
Okay, okay. Earlier it was displayed, yeah. It's now visible.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Sorry, I think I forgot to share. Fine. So we went through this LangChain in action slide about me. We went through what are language models. We also went through how LLMs work. These are few of the applications of LLMs. So yeah, I was on this text summarization part. So LLMs are not just capable of summarizing what you give what the text you give as input, but LLMs can also summarize your entire websites, PPTs, or PDFs as well. or even the YouTube videos. Today, we will also get an example of how you can summarize your YouTube video as well. We'll go through that code as well. So the applications are endless and very interesting as well. So impact of LLMs. Impact of LLMs have resulted in the advancement of NLP. NLP is natural language processing. And why it has become so much advanced? Because since LLMs are trained on vast amount of data, so they are able to understand the complex human linguistic intricacies, I can say, linguistic patterns or linguistic intricacies. So that thing has majorly put a leap forward in the advancements in NLP. It has also led to automation of various language-related tasks, which overall leads to a decrease in turnaround time of getting the response back from the model. Innovation. So you might have heard about Grammarly and these blackbox.ai tools. They also use LLMs at the backend only. So you can see even many startups are evolving just because of these LLMs. If you go through the Google, you'll find multiple startups which are based on LLMs only, and they are profitable as well, not to mention that. With all these advancements, of course, LLMs come with certain limitations as well as challenges as well. Number one, and the most prevalent challenge is computational resources. If you are using your LLMs to train itself, so that would require a huge computational capabilities, including GPUs and all. Sometimes if you have worked on Google Colab, sometimes even Google Colab fails while training these complex models. Sometimes you need to go for Google Colab Pro and all. But when you are using pre-trained, you don't require all this. But when you have to fine-tune these models, then of course computational resources is one of the major backshot. Also bias and fairness. By bias and fairness, what I mean is sometimes these LLM models return biased outputs. For example, in recent times, Google released a model and it was kind of biased towards the certain community or certain class of the society. So that led to a huge backlash against Google. So sometimes bias also an issue. Examples of those pre-trained models. Yeah, one, if I say pre-trained model, there are many pre-trained models available on Hugging Face Hub, and even if you can use OpenAI as well. So these GPT models are also pre-trained, and we'll also work on one pre-trained model for today, which would be Google model named by Slant T5 Large. We'll go through it better. Okay, so we have understood the bias and fairness also. So these all things come under the AI ethics. Whenever a company or any organization is building any NLM models, so they need to be very particular about the bias and fairness in the AI space. Otherwise, that may attract huge backlash against the organization, like Google did. Ethical considerations. Yeah, all these are just part of AI ethics only. So one of the ways you can mitigate this bias thing is train your data on not just one society, but train it on huge data set. For example, what Google did was mistake. It was biased against a certain section of the society that led to a bias. But if the data could have been trained on overall world, overall people, so that issue wouldn't have come. Sometimes algorithms and metrics can also be biased. Also, privacy is an issue when you are deploying the LLMs because that sometimes may lead to your sensitive leakage of sensitive personal details as well. Of course, next is responsible use. There are multiple frameworks which can enable you to mitigate this issue. Future directions. Future directions are currently what all is going in the LLM space is scaling. Have anyone of you heard about these gamma models recently, which Google released? So those are basically small language models, I can say. Instead of LLMs, they are SLMs, small language models. So that is just to scale your LLMs and scale the number of user base. Because not everyone can fine-tune such large language models on their personal laptops or personal PCs because that demands huge computational resources. So these LLMs are currently working on optimizing their models at the same time, not dealing with the accuracy and all. So accuracy is also maintained, plus you are also able to maintain the number of users. Multi-model capabilities. By multi-model capabilities, we just mean it is not just able to understand your text, but your LLMs can even interact with images, audios, and video also. For example, in GPT 3.5, you cannot work with audios or videos or images also. But with GPT-4, when you pay for ChatGPT, you can even interact with your images as well. So you just upload an image and ask any question about the image, and you will get the output. So that is one of the things. Also, domain-specific applications. These best example of domain-specific applications can be Grammarly or Blackbox.ai. If any one of you have worked with Blackbox.ai, what that basically does is it creates the code. Whatever you write, it writes the code for it. For example, just write me a program for encodings in C++. So it will write your code. So these are domain-specific applications, and LLMs can be specified according to these as well. Industry adoption. Almost all of the major companies today are working and also using these LLM models. OpenAI currently is at the foremost of all these organizations, OpenAI and Microsoft, and Google is also doing pretty much well these days, but they also face certain backlash sometimes also. Startups are also leveraging the power of LLMs for multiple tasks of their, including customer support. Even the research institutions are researching on these models. For example, if you just go through the research papers, Oxford University and multiple other universities are working on optimizing these LLM models so they can be used at a wider scale. Okay, so this was about language models. Do any one of you have any doubt until now regarding language models in general? After this, we'll just explore what is LangChain and all, and then we'll start with the coding part. Code is already written, we'll just go through and see it working actually. Till then, anyone has any questions about language models in general? We'll just wait for a minute, then we'll go ahead with LangChain. I guess not. So let's start with LangChain framework for now. Okay. So LangChain, what LangChain is? LangChain is nothing but LangChain is just a framework with which you can interact with large language models. LangChain is just a kind of if you have worked with Flask in Python. So those are just all the frameworks which enables you to interact with your machine learning models. Same way, LangChain is just a framework which you can interact through which you can interact with the large language models. And if you go through the backend intricacies of the same, so this LangChain framework is built upon the blockchain technology. How and what you can search about it, but yeah. So with LangChain, you can create the LLM powered applications, plus you can also deploy the same. And we'll also develop one application today using LangChain only. This LangChain can be integrated with multiple state-of-the-art LLMs. Like one of you just asked now, some of the examples of pre-trained models. So here also it's written GPT-3 or BERT. So we'll see how we can integrate LangChain with these LLMs, pre-trained LLMs, and we will create certain useful projects using the same for summarization or generation part. So LangChain utilizes the blockchain infrastructure at the backend to store the data, validate transactions and all. And with blockchain, obviously security is enhanced, obviously. So that's a major thing. So you can be very assured that LangChain will not lead to any leakage of your data. It is super secure. Architecture overview. LangChain's architecture basically has three layers in all. So number one is data layer, where your data is stored. For example, whatever data set you are using. So that comes under the data layer. Also, all the parameters, for example, number of epochs, what kind of function you will be using. Those are all the parameters which are also stored in the data layer only. Processing layer executes whatever LLM task you have given based on your data. So it processes your data. For example, if you say you want a text summarization thing, So that all comes under processing layer. Application layer, these are just for building, testing, and deploying the ML applications. For all these things, there is also one framework in the LangChain only, LangSmith. Advantages of LangChain framework. Number one is enhanced security. And how the security enhanced? Of course, using blockchain only, because blockchain is super secured by decentralizing all the things and even the cryptographic security. So that is one thing. Scalability. LangChain can be scaled to a very large scale. It is not like you can use just for one user or one model. LangChain can be highly scaled. So that is one other thing. Interoperability. By interoperability, I mean it is operable with multiple languages also, not just with Python. Even you can use LangChain with JavaScript or React.js as well. So whatever the developer is capable of or whatever he knows about, so they can use LLM using LangChain, using that particular programming language only, be it Python or React.js. But today we will be going through Python only. This vector database, this is certain quite complex topic, but if we just take an example to just understand it clearly, vector databases are databases where you store the data and also query. For example, there are general SQL, you can say you store the data, but vector database is something different. Basically, you store the embeddings of your data. Let's say you have a data set of 1000 rows. So you do the embedding of those data set. Embedding simply means converting your data to numerical values. Let's say there is a review of the restaurant. So converting that review, for example, you say the food was very tasty. So converting those string into numerical values, that is embedding. And all the machine learning models, all the deep learning models, they work with numeric values only. So vector databases can store all these numerical values very efficiently. What the major benefit of these vector databases is, you can even query once you have stored the data and you have trained the model. So when after you doing the testing or just prediction, you are doing prediction. So you can simply query your vector database and get the output back. So that is to increase the efficiency and decreasing the turnaround time. Some of the vector databases are Five database. Five databases developed by Facebook. There is also Pinecone database. Pinecone is very popular these days. So those are few of the examples. Community and collaboration. So I'll just go to one other thing as well before this. Let's have the community. So LangChain has a very high community these days of not just developers are involved in the community, but even the researchers are also involved in it, because there is a lot of research going on around the LLM these days and their associated frameworks as well. Collaboration opportunities. So there are many hackathons as well revolving around GenAI and all. So you can even collaborate with other people, share ideas, exchange ideas. So revolving around the LLMs. Plus the documentation provided of this LangChain is also very good. These are the resources: LangChain website, LangChain docs, LangChain use cases, and integrations. Let's just go through the LangChain docs once. Here you can see after the introduction, you have the installation part and multiple other things as well. This LangSmith I told na, this LangSmith is basically used for deploying your LLM powered apps. So use cases wise, if you see, you interact with CSVs, you can interact with your APIs, you can create chatbots, you can understand your code. This code understanding basically is getting all the errors you might have in your code. So that's a very interesting application these days. Synthetic data generation is simply generating artificial data using LangChain. And summarization, tagging, web scraping, there are multiple things you can do with LangChain. So this is also one thing. Also, if you want to connect with, we can go through this slide at the end. Now we start with the code. Till here, anyone has any doubt or questions they may ask? I'll just wait for a minute. in case anyone has any questions. Why use only Python for machine learning? Why not other languages? No, it's not like you can use only Python. You can even use JavaScript as well. If I show you the LangChain API, I'll just show you React.js part also of this page. Hmm. If you want to use JavaScript, then you can use LangChain.js. The concepts, all those things will remain absolutely same. Just the coding part will be different. Rest all will be exactly same, nothing different. So even you can see LangChain.js as well. For example, document loaders. Yeah, you can see here JavaScript is being used, all these things. So it's not like only Python can be used. But Python is currently the most popular framework, popular programming language for interacting with LangChain. So most people use Python only, but yeah, you can use other languages comfortably. Any other questions till now? Okay, so we will now create a project using LangChain, which would be YouTube video script generator. So for example, you have a YouTube channel and want to generate a relevant script for your title. You can use LangChain or LLMs exactly for this purpose also. So I'll show you a demo video first of the same project, what we are building. This video is visible to you. Khushi or Rachit, can you confirm once?
Yeah, the video is visible.
Yes.
Okay. Here we will just give a title and a YouTube video script would be generated automatically using LLM. We will even build a front end for the same. This front end, what you are seeing. So you can see, I just gave a YouTube video title, for example, New York, and it generated a whole script. You can control the length of the script as well. Length and the creativity, I can say. You can even control all those things as well using LangChain only. Okay. So in this project, we would be going through LangChain, of course, and dealing with one LLM. For the front-end part, we are using Streamlit. Some of you might already have worked with Streamlit, but in case you are not aware, what is Streamlit is? Streamlit is basically a Python-based framework which enables you to rapidly build front-end for the LLM-powered apps. Even the MLFs, it enables you to create a front-end very easily. Even if you don't know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can still build your front-end using Streamlit without even knowing any of that. I'll just zoom it a little bit. Okay. I do assume most of you here are slightly aware how Python works or basic syntax of Python. I assume it because if you understand the basic syntax of Python, this code is a really a piece of cake. Just this much code, and you will be building that same thing we built using that. Great. What just we saw in the video, all that is just a part of 64 lines of code only, and we'll just see how that can be built. Okay. First of all, we are importing the Streamlit framework. So import Streamlit as ST. ST is the alias name for it. From LangChain.lms, we are importing the OpenAI. We are importing Hugging Face Hub as well. OpenAI is simply one of the LLM which powers the ChatGPT. but we won't be using OpenAI in this project because OpenAI API is paid. That's why we won't use it. If you want to use OpenAI, you need to pay around $20 per month to OpenAI company. So as an alternative to OpenAI, Hugging Face is also one of the community or a forum where around 120K datasets are available and around 1 lakh pre-trained LLM models as well. So we would be using Hugging Face Hub. If I just show you the Hugging Face also, yeah. So this is the Hugging Face. Here you can see you can get multiple models, datasets and models as well. These all are the models. For example, you see Gamma model was recently released, and on Hugging Face it is already there. Gamma 7 billion, 7B 7 billion parameters. These are some of the applications of it. Image, text to text, even the object detection, image classification, and all these things. So from Hugging Face Hub, you can get multiple models. Currently, okay, so we'll just go through Hugging Face Hub and use a model from Hugging Face Hub. So first of all, we are importing the Hugging Face Hub and OpenAI. Prompt, we are also importing a prompt template. What do I mean by prompt template is you saw I just entered New York in the video and I got the whole script. So prompt template is basically a predefined template which gets input to the LLM. For example, I wrote New York, but what LLM will get in the backend is write me a YouTube video titled about New York. So this is a predefined prompt template we are using. LLM chain is basically combining multiple components of NLP pipeline into one. We'll go through that as well. We are also importing the conversation buffer memory. This is very important to understand it. For example, I can say to store whatever we are writing to the LLM or ChatGPT. All those things are getting stored in the memory. So to enable this to get featured, we are using conversation buffer memory. For example, let's say you ask ChatGPT who won the 2011 World Cup, Cricket World Cup. It will say India won the 2011 World Cup. But then you ask who was the captain of who was the captain of the winning team, and then ChatGPT would give MS Dhoni. Here you see, you just have wrote who was the captain, but we have again not mentioned in the 2011 World Cup because what we are chatting with the ChatGPT right now, it is already aware of the context. So maintaining this context is enabled through conversation buffer memory. So whatever you will chat with the LLMs, so all those things are getting stored temporarily, not permanently. Of course, you can store permanently as well, but conversation buffer memory stores just for a short period of time for just that particular context. Okay, so okay, we ST the title, ST Streamlit only. So the title of the app is YouTube Video Script Generator. I just run this app also. To run this app, you simply need to type Streamlit run YouTube Video Script Generator.py. Here you can see this title, YouTube Video Script Generator. So this is possible through that line of code. This line, ST title, YouTube Video Script Generator. So then we are inputting the OpenAI API key. This is only for the purpose in case any one of you wants to use OpenAI, or if any one of you has paid for this OpenAI API key, then you can use OpenAI API as well. So this is optional. If you enter the OpenAI API key, then behind the backend, your OpenAI ChatGPT model will be used to get the output. If you don't input an OpenAI API key, then we would be using other model, this from the Hugging Face of Google Flan T5 Large. Then we would be using this model. Of st.text input. This basically just takes the input from the user. In the same way, we are taking the input from the user for the prompt or the YouTube video title. Here you can see plug in your OpenAI API key option and enter the prompt here. Here we can write anything, for example, New Delhi. So This is basically the text input. If key, this is if the user provides a key, for example, the OpenAI key. If he provides, then we are using the OpenAI LLM. The OpenAI is the LLM name. This temperature parameter, basically what it does is it controls the creativity of your output. This number which I have used is 0.6. This can be ranged from 0 to 1. For example, if you want your model to be very creative, give a very high temperature, for example, 0.91. It would be very creative response. And if you don't want to take any creativity or want to generate the response in a formal way, so then keep the temperature value too low, around 0.2, 0.3. Yeah. Okay. Since we don't have OpenAI API key because that is paid, we are using the Hugging Face Hub API token. If you want to generate the Hugging Face Hub API token, I'll just show you how you can get that. Hugging Face is, by the way, free. So I also have no issue displaying my token name. You go to the Hugging Face Hub, you log in, and you go to the settings then. After this, come to the access tokens. Hmm. Simply create a new token. I already have it. So you can see I created a token, which is this. So this token will enable you to interact with the Hugging Face Hub models. So this is very important if you are also using this in your hackathon project. So make sure you go to the Hugging Face Hub website and create the access token. If you don't do it, you will not be able to interact with any of the LLMs available on Hugging Face. Okay. Once you have the Hugging Face Hub API token, we are initiating a Hugging Face Hub library and we are using this model, Google/Slang T5 large. If I show you on Hugging Face website also, here you can find it. Hmm. Here you can see model Google/Slang T5 large. Here you can even get the architecture and all. You can get the complete details about this model. Okay, so we are using the Google Flan T5 large model with the temperature of 0, and we are specifically mentioning max length of the output response should not be more than 512. You can make it 256, you can make it 1024, that's up to your choice. Okay, so this title template and this script template, this is basically the predefined prompt templates which we discussed above. For example, user just inputs the input variables. User simply inputs the title of the YouTube video. For example, we did New York. So in the backend of the LLM, what would be passed is write me a YouTube video title about New York. After this, we are also using this LangChain can even interact with or integrate with Wikipedia as well. If you want your results to come from Wikipedia, for example, Wikipedia has almost all the details. If you want your results to be based on Wikipedia, what is available on Wikipedia, you can integrate it with Wikipedia research as well. We imported this Wikipedia at the top from langchain.utilities import Wikipedia API wrapper. So this can be used. So what the predefined user is simply inputting the name of the title, New York. But in the backend, what it is giving to the LLM to generate the output is write me a YouTube script based on the title New York in 1000 words while leveraging this Wikipedia research. Okay. Uh, did somebody had any question? No. Okay. Through this title memory and script memory, we are simply using the conversation buffer memory. So whatever output we are getting, we're storing it temporarily in a database. For example, let's say you for now give New York, then you ask where is New York. So to just get the context of the chat, we are using this conversation buffer memory. So to execute now, we discuss the application layer of the LLMs. This is the basically the application layer. To run the model, we are using the LLM chain. LLM is equal to LLM. And what is this? LLM we are using is this model. Okay, Google's Plan T5 Dash, or if you have the OpenAI key, you are using the OpenAI LLM. So in the LLM chain, we are passing that we are using this Google Plan T5 Dash model as LLM. Our prompt is title template, which is write me a YouTube video title named New York. You can ignore this output key for now, and memory is the title memory so that it stores all the details. Same way, this is generating the title of the YouTube video. This is generating the script of the YouTube video. Once all this is available, if the user provides a prompt, then what we are doing, we are running the title chain. Title chain, what it will do, you provide the prompt to the LLM, for example, New York, and it will run and generate a title for the YouTube video. In the same way, we are doing script chain dot run. Title is equal to title. Wikipedia research is equal to wiki research. What this is doing, on the basis of what uh, title of the YouTube video you give, it will generate the script as well. So after all this has run, so these lines do take certain amount of time at first. After this is run successfully, then we are writing the title as well as the script on the front end screen, and we are also writing title and script generated successfully. Okay, so here you can see uh, sometimes these LLM models do misbehave. I wrote New Delhi and it gave New Delhi only. But most of the times, these models work perfectly fine, like in the YouTube video. Or you can use some more advanced models as well. I would suggest if you are using it for your hackathon project, use this model. Huh. If you are using LLM in your hackathon project, do prefer to use Gemini model. This is developed by Google, and the output it generated is pretty much wonderful, I would say. So you can do this model as well. If you want to use Gemini model, all you have to do is go to this code. Just a second. Here you can see we gave New York as the title. So in the backend, what went is write me a YouTube script based on the title New York City in 1000 words. So it generated a whole YouTube script for you, this long YouTube script. So this all is being displayed to the front end part also. Huh. If you want to change your model, for example, you want to use Gemini model, all you have to do is simply come to this line, LLM is equal to Hugging Face Hub, repo ID, simply replace this by describe AI slash Gemini. That's all. So by that way, you can implement multiple models with multiple projects and you can test which model is working fine for your use case. There are multiple use case models as well. For example, there is a model called Wilson model. Hmm. This Wilson model is basically a legal model. Legal model, by legal model I mean it is this model is being trained on laws. It is trained on California city laws. So even you can use this for generating or summarizing your these legal related matters. So even this can be done. Anybody has any questions till now here? After this, we'll quickly go through one more project as well. Till now, any questions?
Yeah, we don't have any other questions right now in the chat section.
Okay. So this was about YouTube script, video script generator project. Now we'll check one other project as well, PDF chatbot. Before this, I'll just run this for you. Also, the commands for running all these models are Streamlit run. and the file name. For example, in this case, my file name is app.py. LLM chat app with LangChain. So what this will do, simply upload your PDF file and it will summarize the entire PDF for you. I'll also show you this. VGG is basically a transfer learning deep learning model. So if I have uploaded the research paper for VGG, I'll also show you the research paper as well. Incorrect API key. Okay, I need to change the model. Oh, in this case, we are using OpenAI model. That's why. I'll check other as well. Multiple PDF. This. I think this will work. Not just one PDF, but you can even interact with multiple PDFs at the same time. Summarize or whatever you want to do, you can do with multiple PDF file at once. We'll just go through the code. I guess API key is causing an issue. I haven't upgraded the API key. But for this purpose also, what we are doing is we're simply importing the Streamlit model, and this PDF reader is basically used for uploading the PDF file. This character text splitter we will see, and this is used for creating the embeddings. Embeddings is converting the PDF text into numeric values. This is for storing the memory. Vector database we are using is files. Okay. So number one thing, what is character text splitter? So all the main idea behind using all these character text splitter is when you upload a PDF file or any kind of file, there is always a token limit on every model. For example, some models have a token limit of 512. One token is equal to 4 characters. So if any model has a token limit of 512, that basically means it will only be able to process first 512 into 4, which would be 2048 characters. Let's say you have a PDF which is 10,000 characters long, but since your models are only able to process 2,000 characters for, so it will not be able to generate the whole summary, or you cannot ask overall questions. Only for that purpose, we are splitting the your PDF file into multiple files. So what this will do, every 1,000 characters will be stored in one file. So if there is a file of 10,000 characters, so there would be 10 files for the same, and you can interact with all these details. So there is no information loss using this. If we go from the bottom here, I have the open API. Hmm. Again, we are using the title and title which add with multiple PDFs. You can ignore all these conversation buffer memory for now. We are having a text input, ask a question from your documents, and this is basically a sidebar. This is always created using the Streamlit frontend only. No HTML, no CSS. Here you can see sidebar. These all are created using Streamlit only. There is no HTML involved in this from the user point of view. So we are st.file uploader. This basically enables you to upload the files. We are uploading the PDF files, and except multiple files is equal to true is you can upload more than one file also. Okay. Number one, we are getting the extracting the PDF text from the file. You upload the PDF, and we get that PDF as PDF docs, and we are simply extracting the complete text out of it. Once the text has been extracted, we are splitting that into multiple chunks. Chunks will basically enable you to read the whole file. For example, a model has a token limit of 2048 characters, and if the file is 10,000 characters long, so this will split into 5, 6 files. This is creating the embeddings. Embeddings will simply enable you to get the output very quickly because all the embeddings will be stored in the database. So this will enable you to get the output very quickly and efficiently. This time, instead of LangT5 large, we are using double XL model of LangT5. There is a FLAN-T5 small, there is a FLAN-T5 medium, then there is FLAN-T5 large, and after that there is double XL model also. Then it's all the same syntax only. We are storing the memory, we are creating the chains as well. Yeah. Once all this is done, you will be able to get your output. So these were some of the websites we built using LangChain and interacting with LLMs. Anyone has any doubt till here? I would be happy to answer. Any questions?
Okay, so I have a question for everyone. Do we have people who are building anything around AI, ML, or like something with Python, Django, or something? Like, do we have any developers who will be building somewhere around Python or integrating AI, ML to their projects? Just a quick poll to know how it's all going. Okay, we have Harsh, we have Rachit, we have Manthan as well. Okay, yeah, that's pretty interesting. How many? Let's see. Who is JavaScript? Who is into JavaScript versus Python here? Okay, Harshdeep just trained his model. That's great. Because you are going to have your mentoring round soon. And yeah, Mr. Manan Bedi would be there to, mentor you with your projects and help you out in case you are seeking guidance. Okay. Yeah, over to you, sir.
Yeah. I have one more thing to show. This is for summarization part. So yeah, we discussed one other applications as well of YouTube video summarization. So for example, you have a YouTube video from which you are understanding something, and if you want to summarize the whole YouTube video, what all was discussed in the video. So for that purpose also you can use LangChain. For example, here you can see we are installing this LangChain opening and all. How to do that? The code is really easy. So what you do? For uploading the PDF file, we had the PDF loader. For uploading the YouTube file, we have a YouTube loader. So this will, you just give the link of the YouTube video and it will summarize for you. We are using the YouTube loader here. We can use either OpenAI LLM or we can use any of the models from Hugging Face Hub as well. From langchain.change.summarize, we can summarize the YouTube video. All this is predefined. You don't have to train any of the model. Okay. We had this video, some video, I guess. Okay. This is a YouTube video we are summarizing. So this is a video of Red Fort in Delhi. We are uploading this YouTube video to the LangChain. After this, we see. We also have got found video from Briefly. Briefly is the channel name, and it is 3 minutes 47-second long. So you are able to see found video from Briefly that is 228 seconds long, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. So you are first getting this detail and you are getting the complete data extracted. This all was spoken in the video. The Red Fort in Delhi is not just a symbol of Indian identity, etc. After this, we are using a model, Gemini Pro. This Gemini Pro is very fast and efficient. If you are building something around LLM in your hackathon project, do consider using this project, Gemini Pro. This is really efficient. This is available in the chat Google Generative AI module in Python in the LangChain also. From LangChain Google Gen AI import chat Google Generative AI. After this, we are loading the summarization chain. We are using the LLM of Gemini Pro. Chain type is equal to stuff. There are two kinds of chain type. Either you can use stuff or there is one other as well. Stuff basically is you are getting the entire video and it will divide into chunks, multiple chunks, because YouTube video can also be more than 512 or more than 2000 characters long. So after creating multiple chunks of the YouTube video content, after summarizing each of the chunk, then you are again summarizing the entire chain. So that is basically stuff. And when you are running this chain.run result, it will give you the summary of the YouTube video. Here you can see this is the summary of the YouTube video. What was spoken in the video. This is the summary of it. Here is the summarization part. You recursive character exploiter. This will divide your YouTube video into multiple chunks. Map reduce. Chain type can be either stuff or map reduce. So these are also some of the things. We uploaded a YouTube video and yeah, here is the summary. Sorry, summary is this. This was the entire content. This was the entire content and this is the summary generated of the YouTube video. All this is possible only through LLM and the model we have used. You can even summarize multiple YouTube videos as once. We uploaded two YouTube videos, you can see. We divided the YouTube video content into multiple chunks to avoid the token limit issue. After that, again, we are simply summarizing the chain entirely. And here is the summary of the YouTube video again. You can even control the length of it. You can simply do max length is equal to 1000. So even you can control the length as well. So this is also one of the application for the uh, LLMs or LangChain in general. Okay, I guess we have explored the language models, LangChain, and also the three applications we just saw. Any questions from you are highly appreciated. I guess 1 hour is also over, right?
Yeah, we have like nearly reached the time limit for the session. Okay, folks. So shall we start with the Q and A? Like, if Manan, if you're okay with it.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so yeah, all the participants are requested to put forward their questions. It could be related to their projects or something, which was demonstrated throughout the session. Do let us know if you have any question. You can unmute or you can simply type it. In case you don't have any questions, we shall be proceeding with the ending note by Rachit. And yeah, then we are going to conclude today's session. Yeah, we have a
Uh,
question by Sonali in the
uh,
chat section. Please have a look.
yeah. So Sonali, there is no token time limit, and why there is no time limit is all enabled through the character text splitter only what we just saw. So let's say there is a YouTube video 50 minutes long, and when the YouTube video is long, of course the number of characters spoke in the video are obviously very high. It can be even 20,000 characters long. So just to avoid the token limit, we are splitting the entire YouTube video content into multiple chunks of 1,000 each. In this example, what we just saw. So let's say there is a YouTube video in which 50,000 characters were spoken and you divide it into multiple chunks of 1,000 characters each. So there will be 50 chunks out of all and you are using the chain type as map reduce. So then it will summarize all your chunks individually. And after all your chunks are summarized individually, it will summarize all those chunks entirely then. Like 50 summarized chunks were there and summarizing all those 50 contents again that is enabled through chain type as map reduce. So this enables you to no time limit for the YouTube video. You can process as much long video you want. But processing time would be obviously higher in such cases, but those are pretty much okay, I would say. So that's okay completely. Any other question? I was trying to train a model that is expected to return a formatted output like a daily timetable, which has time slots and required actions to take at that time. I tried using available models. Uh, this seems to be a very custom related issue. So in this case, I don't think there would be any pre-trained model for all these tasks. You can fine tune. of course. You can simply go through the Google and check fine-tune LLM models using Hugging Face. So you would be getting multiple resources, plenty of resources there. So you need to fine-tune in this case, as there is no predefined model for this timetable tasks, I would say.
Also, Manthan, like if you face like in case you want more precise guidance, so don't worry. We have like two mentoring rounds today and tomorrow. And yeah, please drop a text in the Telegram group itself. We will be segregating your teams as per your domain and as per the the themes that you are picking up for the hackathon. So yeah, please be active. We are going to reach out to you in the Telegram group itself in case you like want more precise guidance or opinions over your project. Okay, so do we have anyone else? Yeah.
I think I'm not able to use my cursor somehow. Yeah, this is one. Question is YouTube video summarization was interesting. Can I get source code? I want to do some experiments implementing this feature. I think I have it on my GitHub already. Let me just quickly see. Just a second. YouTube video summarization. I haven't uploaded this on my GitHub, but yes, I can still share, I guess. Is it okay to share, Kushi?
Yeah, it's fine. Like you will be the judge after all, so you are going to
Yeah,
check in the end.
right. You can use this link for getting the source code of that. Any other questions? In the meanwhile, you can also connect with me or with on my social media channels. For example, Gmail, LinkedIn, Twitter, GitHub, or website. So you can, of course, connect with me anywhere as well. Yeah. Any other questions there? Also, I think I am also in the Telegram channel. So if you face any issues with regards to LLM or ML in general, so I would be happy to help in case. Okay, so I don't think we have any other questions for now.
All right, over to you, Rachit. Please proceed with the closing note.
So, thanks a lot, Manan. Now I'll proceed with the vote of thanks. As we come to the end of this insightful session, I want to express our greatest gratitude to Mr. Manan for this informative session. Also, I would like to thank the principal, Dr. Payal, and the teacher convener, Dr. Dipali ma'am, for their motivation and all-round support. Thank you for all your participants for joining in and actively engaging throughout the session. We hope that today's session was informative and you learned a lot. Wishing you a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Manan. It was indeed a lovely and very insightful session. We are like really looking forward for your mentorship and guidance in the coming mentoring slots. And yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining in. Please keep showcasing your support. Like it's because of you people we get the motivation to organize such virtual and in-person events. Yeah, let's conclude it here. And yeah,